The mighty kingdom of Velyndor is thrown into chaos when King Aldric is assassinated under mysterious circumstances. His two heirs, eldest Princess Seraphina, a brilliant strategist and warrior, and young Prince Kael, a fearless fighter beloved by the army, both claim the throne. Seraphina, the rightful heir, moves to secure her rule, backed by seasoned generals and wise counselors. But Kael, driven by their father's dying whispers that a warrior must rule, gathers an army of loyal knights and mercenaries. The kingdom fractures into two factions, and the streets of the capital become a battleground. As tensions rise, both siblings suspect foul play in their father's death. But before they can uncover the truth, war erupts. The conflict spreads across the land. Kael leads daring cavalry raids, seizing key fortresses. Seraphina counters with brilliant tactics, laying traps and cutting off his supply lines. Cities burn, alliances shift, and assassins lurk in the shadows. In the midst of battle, an unknown third force, a secretive faction of nobles, manipulates events from the shadows, fueling the war for their own gain. Seraphina and Kael both realize that if they don't destroy each other, they'll both be destroyed by unseen enemies. The final battle is set, the royal palace where it all began. Kael storms the palace with his forces. Seraphina and her elite guards defend every corridor, turning the halls into a slaughterhouse. Finally, the siblings face each other in the throne room, the great hall littered with the bodies of fallen warriors. "You were never meant to rule," Kael says, blood dripping from his sword. "And you were never ready," Seraphina replies. Their duel is brutal, Kael's raw strength versus Seraphina's lethal precision. In the end, Seraphina disarms Kael, pinning him to the ground. But instead of delivering the final blow, she offers her hand. "Our real enemies are still out there," she says. "Help me destroy them." Kael, breathing hard, finally nods. The war is over, but a greater battle for the kingdom's future has just begun. Seraphina takes the throne, but instead of executing Kael, she names him commander of the royal guard. The unseen faction that fueled the war is exposed and hunted down. As the kingdom begins to heal, Seraphina stands before her people, crown on her head, knowing that ruling will be harder than fighting for the throne. But she is ready. Seraphina claims the throne. A sealed letter is delivered to Kael in exile. He reads it by candlelight, his eyes narrowing. The letter bears no name, only a single line. "The throne was never yours. The war is not over." Kael burns the letter but says nothing. He looks out into the cold night, knowing his sister's kingdom still hangs by a thread.